Good evening, everyone. Hello and welcome to Facebook live session from Optima Clinics. I'm Dr. Vikram Jain, consultant rheumatologist. And with us today, we have Dr. Deepika Pannuru, who is also a consultant rheumatologist at Optima Clinics. This Facebook live is today on the hot topic, that is Omicron variant of coronavirus. But this session is the first of many sessions which we plan to do every month. That is around the 10th of every month, where we would like to discuss important issues regarding autoimmune diseases in general, and also if any important topic relevant to our patients and public in general. So this is the first of such a program today, and today we thought it would be pertinent to discuss an important problem that that is right now in a very initial or a budding stage, which may blow out into a big problem in future if we are not careful at this moment. So let us discuss about this Omicron variant. Should we be worried? Should we, the healthcare professionals, patients of autoimmune diseases who are probably joined, whom I also welcome. I welcome all the everyone who is joined us live right now, and also the general public. Should we be worried about this Omicron variant? So we thought we would do this in a form of simple questions, and we would like to make it as simple as possible in all the possible languages which we can try and address. And so first and foremost, what is Omicron variant of coronavirus? Omicron variant andre enu? Dr. Deepika, can you just throw some light?
Good evening, everyone. So as we all know that we are going through a pandemic since the last 2 years, and we are going through so many variants of these coronavirus, and now the current, we are facing a new threat in the form of Omicron variant. So what is Omicron variant? So to begin with, a virus, any virus, it multiplies within the human cells, taking the help of the human genetic material. So as it replicates within the body, it tends to change its genetic material and takes new forms as it goes on. So we see so many variants of the viruses coming out day in and day out as the time goes on. So with respect to the coronavirus, which is the ongoing pandemic from the last 2 years, suddenly in the last month, we have seen a sudden change in the ongoing Delta variant, where large number of mutations have happened at a time, and a cluster of mutations have changed the clinical characteristics, how it caused the second wave over the last few months. It is going to change now with this new appearance of the new variant. So the WHO and the Center for Disease Control has labeled this new variant as Omicron variant. And now we are in the early stages of this variant, and how it's going to affect our upcoming life is still a question. We'll just go through a few of the questions that every one of us are facing as the new variant has come, and it has created a lot of panic among all of us.
Thank you, Dr. Deepika. To put it in simple terms, variant is a slight change in the virus. So, Dr. Deepika, would it be correct for me to say it's like a car has a different sort of new model? So, is it something similar to that? Can we make that analogy among viruses, this Delta variant, Omicron variant, etc., for people to understand?
Yes, it's the change in the structure of the virus. So as we see in the picture here, this is the structure of the virus. It has some projections on its surface. Those we are calling them as spike proteins. And this Omicron variant has got more than 30 number of changes compared to the existing Delta variant. So when the structure is changed, the symptoms or the disease that this form is going to cause in the humans or is going to change. So it's the structural change which is going to change its characters. As there are so many changes in one variant, we are considering it as the most important, and we labeled this as, we gave it a new name called Omicron.
Thank you, Dr. Deepika. That brings us to the next topic which we will discuss. Everybody is calling this as a variant of concern. So we have been hearing this in the newspapers, in the television shows. Everybody's talking that this is a variant of concern. Now, what is this variant of concern, and are there different types of variants? So I'll just deal with this. So the WHO puts the different new variations of the virus into different categories. And two important categories are the variant of interest and variant of concern. Now, Omicron has been put under this variant of concern. Now, variant of interest is when, as Dr. Deepika explained, there is a structural change in the virus because of some genetic variations. And the virus has a structural change which is called as variant of interest. Now this variant of interest, if they are of public health importance, that is, if because of this structural change, the virus is, there is a difference in the transmission, that is ability to spread from one person to another, or if the virus has different clinical features, or if the treatment requirements are different, or if the vaccination effectiveness varies because of these structural changes, then we would call it as a variant of concern. Now, there is some structural changes which has led to some differences in the public health importance in terms of transmissibility, severity, etc., which we will be discussing. And hence, this has been called as a variant of concern. So, variant of concern andre virus structure ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅದರದ್ದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್, ಅದರದ್ದು ಒಂದು ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಪೇಷಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹರಡೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಅದರದ್ದು ಸಿಂಪ್ಟಮ್ಸ್, ಅಥವಾ ಅದರದ್ದು ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ವೇರಿಯಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕನ್ಸರ್ನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ ಈ ಒಮಿಕ್ರಾನ್ ವೇರಿಯಂಟ್ ನ ವೇರಿಯಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕನ್ಸರ್ನ್ ಅಂತ ಲೇಬಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ we talked about there are some changes in this public health importance because of Omicron. So there is a talk, I think everybody must have heard, even experts are telling that this variant is probably more easily transmissible from patient to patient. Is it so, Dr. Deepika?
Thank you, Dr. Vikram. As I have already told, e virus lo it has కొన్ని చేంజెస్ వచ్చాయి, స్ట్రక్చరల్ చేంజెస్. యాజ్ ఏవైతే మనం చెప్పుకున్నామో ఆ స్ట్రక్చరల్ చేంజెస్ అనేవి ఎక్కువగా స్పైక్ ప్రోటీన్ లో వచ్చాయి. ఏవైతే చిన్న చిన్న ప్రొజెక్షన్స్ లాగా వైరస్ సర్ఫేస్ మీద ఉన్నాయో దానిలో ఎక్కువ చేంజెస్ వచ్చాయి. అవి దే ఆర్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ బికాస్ దట్ ఈస్ ద ప్లేస్ వేర్ దే గెట్ అటాచ్డ్ టు ద హ్యూమన్ సెల్ అండ్ గెట్ ఇంటర్నలైజ్. అంటే హ్యూమన్ సెల్ లోపలికి ఈ వైరల్ సెల్ అనేది ఈ స్పైక్ ప్రోటీన్ ద్వారా ఎంట్రీ అనేది జరుగుతుంది. సో ఈ స్పైక్ ప్రోటీన్ లో మనకి చాలా చేంజెస్ రావడం వలన మనం ఇప్పటి వరకు తీసుకున్న ప్రికాషన్స్ ఇన్ ద టర్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ వ్యాక్సిన్ ఏదైతే అనుకున్నామో, ఆ వ్యాక్సిన్ అనేది ఈ వైరస్ ని మన బాడీలోకి ఎంటర్ కాకుండా యాంటీబాడీస్ ని, ఇమ్యూన్ రెస్పాన్స్ ని క్రియేట్ చేసింది. సో యాజ్ దేర్ ఆర్ సో మెనీ చేంజెస్ ఇన్ దిస్ స్పైక్ ప్రోటీన్, it is likely that it can evade the response that is that has happened with the vaccine. And already if there is a prior infection, we are likely to get some immunity, and with the vaccine we are likely to get some immunity. And this immune response anedi ee spike protein lo unna changes jaragadam valla it can overcome the defense mechanism that we have acquired till now. So in that way it can spread easily, and the attachment to the human cell అనేది చాలా ఈజీగా జరిగిపోవడం, ఎంట్రీ అనేది చాలా ఈజీగా జరిగిపోతుంది. కాబట్టి దిస్ ఈ వేరియంట్ అనేది చాలా ఈజీగా స్ప్రెడ్ అవుతుంది అనేది మనం యాంటిసిపేట్ చేస్తున్నాం.
Okay, Dr. Deepika, what you meant to say is obviously because there are changes in the structure. So to put it in a given analogy, probably if a terrorist is entering our country and if they use a different way of entering, probably initially they may be more successful because we are not able to identify them easily. Our cells are not able to identify those variations initially, at least, and hence they may be easily transmissible. So, so far, that's what has been talked about, that probably this variant is more transmissible. And if by meaning of more transmissible, that is more and more patients are more and more people are likely to get infected by this Omicron variant. And that is actually a matter of concern for all of us, because more and more people are likely to be infected. Now, if more and more people are likely to be infected, does that mean that more and more people are likely to have severe disease, or are more and more people likely to die? So the question in everybody's mind is this more dangerous compared to Delta wave? Is it less dangerous? Some experts are telling that it is probably less dangerous than the Delta wave. What is the correct scenario? Now, frankly, this is too early days for us in this Omicron variant. There are Omicron variant detected in nearly 57 countries, a few hundred patients everywhere. But we still are understanding more and more about this disease. It's too early for us to say whether it is more dangerous or less dangerous. But from what has been reported in countries where the Omicron variant has been found now, probably it seems to be less dangerous. Probably the deaths so far have not been reported of patients with Omicron variant in most countries. So compared to Delta wave, it seems to be less dangerous, but we have to be still cautious in labeling it as less dangerous, because it's still early days. ಇದು ತುಂಬಾ ಬೇಗ ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನ ಲೆಸ್ ಡೇಂಜರಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಬೇಗ. It's too early to rejoice. We just have to wait for another couple of weeks to see how more dangerous or less dangerous, though the clinical manifestations are more or less similar to what the Delta variant had. So the symptoms of coronavirus seem to be similar. There are no special or different sort of symptoms noted so far with the Omicron variant, or very unique symptoms noted so far with the Omicron variant. It seems to be more or less similar symptoms. So far, not deaths reported in most countries with Omicron variant. But is it completely less dangerous? We are still not sure. Let's hope that it is less dangerous. But it is obviously more transmissible, as we discussed. Now, everybody, vaccination, we have been talking about vaccination. People who have followed us on Optima Facebook Live would remember that 1 year back, exactly a year back, even before vaccination rolled out, we had a Facebook Live regarding vaccination, importance of vaccination, and we probably wanted everyone to take vaccine as early as possible whenever it was available to all our patients and public in general. Now, we have come a long way now. Vaccination has started. Nearly 50% of our country has taken 2 doses. Nearly 80% have taken at least a single dose. But a significant chunk which still are not vaccinated. But those who vaccinated have a question in their mind, Dr. Deepika. I have taken 2 doses of vaccine. Will this vaccine which I have taken work for Omicron also? Do I need to take any boosters? What is your take on this?
Yes, Dr. Vikram, as all of us are concerned about the protection that these 2 doses of vaccination that is going to offer against this Omicron variant. As I have already discussed, there are many cluster of changes that have happened in the spike protein and the receptor binding domain, the major structure on the Omicron variant, which helps the virus to enter the human body. So because of these changes, it can escape to some extent the immune defense that was created by the vaccine, but it's not entirely. The vaccine efficacy doesn't go away. The infection people may get infected. Those who are even fully vaccinated, or those who had an infection with coronavirus previously, are also likely to get infected. But the severity of the disease, as we have seen with the Delta variant, those who are fully vaccinated were prevented from severe stage of the disease and mortality by more than 98% or even up to 100%. So that vaccine efficacy is still expected to be maintained for this new variant also. So that is more important for us. It doesn't affect the mortality. I mean, vaccination helps us in preventing mortality and the severe stage of the disease. Though we are likely to get infected, it is anticipated that it will be in the milder stage.
Thank you, Dr. Deepika. Thank you for reassuring us. I think that's a very important point, that vaccination prevents severe infections. And all of you who are listening to this talk and have not got vaccinated, please, vaccination will be effective in preventing severe infections and death, preventing ICU admissions, even with the Omicron variant. So absolutely, if you have not taken vaccination, please go and take your vaccination. Dr. Deepika, one more part of this question, and before that, two more important points you made. That is, reinfection is high with this Omicron variant. Transmission is high. Even those who are vaccinated previously may still get infection. So don't get disheartened. It will prevent severe infections, but you may still get, even if you have got COVID before, or if you have been vaccinated completely, you may still get infection by this variant. But do we need to take the third dose? As of now in our country, there are some certain regulations. So should we take, and probably right now it is not available everybody, but if it is available, should people take the third dose?
Yes, the Center for Disease Control has already recommended us a long back that wherever there is a possibility, take a booster dose 6 months after the initial vaccination schedule. And also the latest, in the recent times, there was a recommendation that all the children who are above 55 years of age are also advised to take vaccination at the earliest. And the importance of vaccine is not only in preventing the severe stage or the mortality. As the number of vaccinated people increase, the chance of the mutations in the virus also comes down, and the chance of developing new variants also comes down, and thus we can curtail this pandemic at the earliest by fully covering vaccinated people.
Yeah. So thanks, Dr. Deepika. I think vaccination is essential. Vaccination for children and even booster dose is on the cards. But however, as of now, these are still not started in our country. So as and when it comes up, please, if booster is available, we should, I think, go ahead and take the booster dose, as well as for children, as and when vaccination becomes available. I think that is also an important to be taken. Now we'll move on to the next question. So there is, as we discussed previously, that this virus has slightly changed. The structure has changed. The spike protein has changed. But will the test like RT-PCR also detect this variant? So how do we know? How do we confirm that we have got Omicron variant? That may be a question on people's mind. That if they have symptoms, how do they know they have which variant? Delta variant, Omicron variant. Now, as of now, it is, as we discussed, the symptoms are not very different. So the treatment we will be coming up. So for a person who is infected, it is not important for him to know whether it is a Delta variant or Omicron variant. I think that doesn't make any difference to your treatment. You have to get isolated, and if severe, you have to get admitted and treated. So for a person, it's not important in an RT-PCR if it is positive to know what variant you know. That is only for scientists to understand about the disease and make decisions. The RT-PCR test will also not tell you whether it is Omicron variant, because they may have to do some genomic sequences to tell you what variant it is, whether it is Delta variant or Omicron variant. It will tell you whether you have COVID infection, but what variant of COVID infection, whether Delta or Omicron, the RT-PCR will not tell you. The available RT-PCR, yes, will also detect the Omicron variant. So that should be reassuring. So if you have the Omicron variant, it will come up positive, but the results will not be told as it is Delta variant or Omicron variant, except when the authorities inform you. And also for a lay person, as an individual who gets infected, it's not important for him to know whether it is Delta or Omicron, because the treatment, the management is exactly going to be the same. So all in all, the test will detect, but as of now, it's not important to know. Dr. Deepika, we discussed it is highly transmissible. It may be less dangerous. There is changes in protein structure. Are the available treatment which we are using so far, which we have learned so far in the past 2 years, still be effective for Omicron variant?
As we are in the very early stages of this Omicron variant, we may not be able to know in detail about which treatment works and which treatment doesn't work. The studies are still on the way. But what we can anticipate based on the available knowledge is, because of the change in this structural spike protein, where some medications act on that. So some medications may not be effective as they were with the Delta variant, and some they remain their efficacy. Some remain they maintain their efficacy and control the disease. And mostly the drugs which interfere with the replication of the virus, they do continue their efficacy. So we are not in a stage where we don't have treatment to the new variant. We still continue to have the same medications. Based on the symptom severity, the medications that are used to treat the first two waves are still tried, but only very few medications may not be as effective as they were with the Delta variant.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Deepika. That is very reassuring to know that the treatment which we have been using will still be effective, except for some medications, maybe like some monoclonal antibodies. Most medications which we have been using for the management, for replication as well as the treating severe COVID, will still be effective for the Omicron variant also. Now, we talked about the transmission, we talked about the testing, we talked about the treatment. Now, what different we have to do to prevent us from Omicron, from what we have been doing so far? What additional precautions we need to take? Now, we have been talking in the past couple of years about how to prevent transmission. That is your SMS, social distancing, masking, as well as sanitization and hand hygiene measures. So we all of us have got fed through all the social media. We have been, in fact, hearing this so much that it has got internalized. However, we have sort of become complacent after the second wave, and we have seen once everything is open, people have started not using the mask. If you go out in the rural areas, just go out of Bangalore, mask is completely not used. Social distancing now, once the rules are relaxed, obviously has been out of the everybody's mind. And hand hygiene measures, again, hand washing, sanitization, which people were religiously doing previously, has also been totally forgotten. However, just to remind everyone, Corona is still not gone. This Omicron variant is probably more transmissible. That means more and more people may be infected. People who have got vaccinated and previously got infection also may get infected again. And we don't want to get into a scenario, though it seems to be less dangerous. We don't want it to get into a scenario where there are thousands and 20,000 people, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 people getting infected every day, because that will put a big burden on our healthcare system. Because even if the severity may not be more, if more patients get infected, more patients needs admission, our healthcare, believe me, doesn't have the resources to manage them. And people will, like we had the second wave, we still have not forgotten the tragedy of the second wave. So let us not get into that situation. Let us learn from the previous two waves and learn from our mistakes and not get complacent. Emphasize again that face mask is compulsory. Frequently wash your hands. Use sanitizer if you're not able to wash your hands at that particular moment. Maintain adequate social distancing. Don't go into crowded places. So these measures has to be still maintained. Let us not get complacent, not only for our own protection, but also for protection of our near and dear ones. So the same precautions have to be taken. There are no additional precautions what we have been following, but we have to follow these precautions, which we have sort of forgotten in the past couple of months. Let us not make the mistake again of between the first and second wave. Let us learn from those mistakes and not repeat them again, because if the Omicron variant gets out of hand, it can be a disaster. So we discussed so far. We have another 5 minutes. Before that, we go on to the conclusions and take-home messages. We have certain questions which we would like to address. there's a question by Amar. What are the symptoms of Omicron? We think we discussed that. We'll just reiterate. Dr. Deepika, if you can take this again. What are the symptoms of Omicron variant?
Symptoms of Omicron are more or less same as the Delta variant. There are no specific symptoms specially labeled to Omicron as of now. We don't have any specific symptoms. The same, but as we have come across from the information from the countries where there are these new variants, the symptoms were told to be mild, restricted to symptoms of upper respiratory tract infection like cold, and severe body pains or myalgias is what we have come across till now. And nowhere a major or significant severe symptom was labeled and especially considered as due to Omicron variant.
Yeah. One more question by Asha. How does vaccination help? I think we answered that, but we want to re-emphasize the importance of vaccination. Dr. Deepika, another part of the question is, can we plan vacation during Christmas and New Year? Dr. Deepika.
Yes, we can plan vacation only by taking all the precautions. Vaccination, make sure that you are fully vaccinated, and if not, take the vaccine as early as possible, complete the second dose of vaccination, and that is the main pillar of the protective mechanisms to prevent this new variant. Always, as we all keep emphasizing, prevention is more important and always better than cure. So better we prevent this Omicron variant getting infected because of this, rather than getting it and sitting in a dilemma where we are going into a severe stage or how it's going to be for the next 15 days. So I would suggest the first most important factor is vaccination. How does it help? It helps, though we are infected, it helps in preventing progression of disease into severe stage, and it prevents mortality, it prevents hospitalization. So that is the most important preventive measure. And along with the vaccination, mask is the, among all the measures that we have been discussing, mask is the only thing which can protect us from any variant, be it Delta, be it Alpha, be it Omicron. It doesn't know the variant, it helps us in protecting from any of the variants. So wear the mask properly. It's not hanging on somewhere under the chin or somewhere else. It should be properly worn, covering entirely the nose and mouth, and properly fit to your face. And if possible, a double mask. If you are using the cloth mask, a double mask with a surgical mask also helps in further a better preventive measure. And vaccination and masking, these are the most important measures. And
yes, absolutely. You see, vaccination is important not only to protect yourself, but also your close, near and dear ones, because if you are not getting infected, obviously you will not transmit to them. And occasions like Christmas and New Year, where family members are getting together, it is more chance that if you are infected, you are probably infecting your near and dear ones. And if they unfortunately have a severe disease, then it will be very tragic. So I would, anyway, New Year probably, as we hear that probably New Year is not going to be at New Year parties and all may not be on the cards. There will be restrictions on that, as we so far are getting to hear. So probably there will be restrictions on, and it is also right that we take this probably as short-term loss for a long-term gain. I think we should look in that terms. Probably it's a short-term loss for us, but for our family members and for us also in the long run, as far as for our overall for the country as well as world, for the humankind, it's important that this is a short-term loss which we should probably be ready to take for a very, very long-term gain. If we are healthy, obviously we can have more occasions to celebrate. So that would be what we can take away. One more question is, booster dose should we take? I think we also discussed this, Dr. Deepika. Should we take the booster dose if it is available? Right now, it's not been offered by the government. But if it is offered, should we be taking the booster dose?
Definitely, booster dose is recommended. Whenever the government of India authorizes the booster dose, we recommend everyone above 18 years of age to get a booster dose within 6 months of the prior vaccination schedule. And even we are emphasizing children to get vaccinated whenever it is available. And it's already been started in foreign countries where the vaccination booster doses are on the way. So, and the high risk population and the patients with autoimmune diseases are given the priority. We still encounter so many rheumatic disease patients who come with the question of whether we can take vaccine or not. This is still we are encountering after going through second phase and after passing the 10 months of having a vaccine in our hands. We constantly and strongly emphasize that vaccination is the key to prevent severe disease, to prevent the transmission to the others, and especially in the high risk population like diabetics, elderly age group, solid organ transplantation, autoimmune diseases, patients on immunosuppressive medications. We always encourage and motivate everyone to get vaccinated. And whenever possible, those who have already received 2 doses of vaccine, whenever the possible, take the booster dose after 6 months.
Yeah, very well put, Dr. Deepika. I think we will again re-emphasize through this medium that those who have not been vaccinated, please get vaccinated. I think initially people were skeptical that wanted to wait and watch, wanted others to get vaccinated. Now it's been 10 months since we have vaccination has started. It is now available easily. I think there should be no reason why you should not be able to get vaccinated. Please get in touch with your doctor. If you have any concerns still regarding vaccination, get in touch with us. If regarding doubts about vaccination, if we can clear your doubts regarding vaccination, we would definitely be happy to do that. So before we, so next we'll move on to the few of the take-home messages and conclusions. What we discussed so far, just put it in a nutshell. Omicron is a variant of concern. It might be, probably might be more easily transmissible, but it has a high chances of reinfection even in those who have got COVID previously, those who have been vaccinated. As of now, that there is data that it may be less or maybe same severity as Delta, but there is, however, no reason for us to be complacent because it's still early days. We still need to learn more about this virus. The RT-PCR test should be able to detect your Omicron variant, but however, it is not so important for an individual person to know whether, because the treatment and management is going to be the same. The treatment will be similar. Vaccine should be effective as previously to prevent severe disease and death. One caveat is that we need more information will come in future as we see more and more as time passes, and some of these recommendations, some of the may slightly be changed as we understand more about this variant. Dr. Deepika, again, if you could re-emphasize the importance of the following measures.
So as we have already discussed, social distancing, masking, and vaccination. Vaccination is always on the higher, given the highest priority. And next comes the masking. Proper way of masking is very important in preventing any variant of coronavirus. And do sanitize your hands, wash your hands regularly, and maintain social distance, avoid crowded places, stay safe.
Yes, if we don't have any more questions, I think we don't have any more questions. I think we can end this session here. On this note, please protect yourself, protect your family. Let us not forget easily what mistakes we made. Let us learn from the mistakes we made from the second wave. Let us be prepared. Let us not lose our guard, and let us not be complacent, because this Omicron, especially in our country, even if the virus may be less severe, which seems at present, if more numbers are affected, it will overwhelm our healthcare system, and we will see more deaths like the second wave. So let us not let that happen. Hope this answers few of your queries on Omicron. If you have any queries about vaccination, please get in touch with your doctor or get in touch with us. we can probably help you clear those doubts. So with that note, let us end this session. Thank you, Dr. Deepika, for a wonderful interaction and sharing information about Omicron variant. Hope you enjoyed and learned from this session. We enjoyed preparing this session and discussing this session today. Thank you all.
Thank
See you.